The Zone Coverage Podcast Network.
The Andy Luke and Reef Football Machine.
Autobots, transform! I like this kind of party!
Straight cash, homie.
Starts now.
Welcome back to Thunderdome for another Zone Coverage Football Machine, Zone Coverage Podcast Network. Can't go as low as Yanka.
Can I go really low? I can't hear.
Say Zone Coverage Podcast Network like really low.
Zone Coverage Podcast
My
Network.
God.
That's so good, man.
It's okay.
You should replace your normal voice with it.
You should do movie trailers if they still did that.
Movie trailers were my favorite thing, so I would spend hours practicing them.
In a world where people still have flip phones.
In a world where people still had flip phones,
Yeah, no, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
4 guys get together. Their names: Arif, Miles, Andy, and Yinka.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
I don't like the sound of my name when you say it.
Wow.
Andy.
Well, Miles, that was probably the best out of the 4 names. Yeah.
Yeah,
Miles got the most out of it.
like I said, I spent
most mileage. If you
I loved listening to there was that dude who consistently, I forget his name, he consistently did every movie.
Yeah.
And I would just spend time just listening and imitating him.
You should take
I
over
got him
NFL.
in for a Blockbuster commercial once.
Yeah.
You should take over for John Facenda in NFL Films. I know he died 12 years ago, but you should still do it.
I'd love to.
That's a different cadence and voice. But yeah, I believe in Yinka.
Aaron Rodgers.
That has never been said out loud.
Aaron Rodgers heroically takes the field after ripping off a hangnail. Dun, 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 dun.
On his non-throwing pinky finger.
Are we going to start this podcast?
That's great. We're just diving on in. Listen to hour 1. Talk some Vikings. Talk some Lions. All that stuff. We're opening up the phone lines now for all that goodness. Also, we're going to finish up our awards because, why not? But what'd you guys do during the break? Time travel?
We went very nerdy. We talked about Harry Potter and...
oh, my God.
Yeah, it was a long, extensive conversation.
Bring some of that nice onto air.
No.
Reef hates when we get nerdy on air.
That's not true.
Every time we've had anime talks, you've hated it.
Yeah, I hate
good.
anime. But other than that...
This is actually true.
Yeah, so... Yeah, let's talk about... We didn't award, Defensive Player of the Year. We didn't do any of the rookie awards.
Let's dive into that right now. Just sent a tweet to open up the phone lines. Defensive Player of the Year, both macro and micro.
Daniil Hunter for both. Because I already awarded Aaron Donald the... Yeah, so... Sorry, I just want to make it clear.
For micro, I'll go with Linval Joseph. And then for macro, I'll go...
Miles is deeply disappointed in you.
Yeah. Why?
I'm just kidding.
Okay. I'll go with DJ Swearinger.
The highest graded safety at PFF, but he doesn't get a picture.
Yeah.
Him and HaHa Clinton-Dix, low-key, great safety matchup. Oh, we got a caller, right? Hey, caller, who we got?
Should have taken a guard round 1. How's it going, Miles? Guess who this is?
Man. I gotta go. Actually, this is perfect timing for me.
Oh, now that I have you, you can't go nowhere.
Wow.
Apparently,
That was very aggressive.
You've got him in a quarter. What do you have to? What do you need to say, man?
It's a line that Steve dropped on his wedding night.
Jesus.
I got some grievances to air out with Miles, but we don't have that kind of time tonight. How's it going, guys?
No, we have all kinds of time. Yeah.
We're here for that.
I'm hungry, so I don't have that kind of time.
This is the freezing cold takes edition of the football machine, man. What did Miles get wrong that you need the world to know about?
Yeah, show on the doll where Miles hurt you.
Should have taken a guard in round freaking 1. I don't want to hear any more bullshit about Brian O'Neill this, Brian O'Neill that. We needed a damn guard in round 1.
The second round.
Tackle's more important.
But anyway.
It's kind of an unusual stand to take right after Brian O'Neill comes off of a career game where he starts. It's going pretty great.
He looks good though. I'll eat my crow on that one. He looks good so far, but I'm happy he's looking good anyway.
Wait, now, Steve, are you the kind of guy who is mad when you're wrong about things, even though it makes your team look good?
No. I'll eat my crow. I'll take it. I can, if I can dish it, I can take it too. So, but I'm wrong. I admit I'm wrong.
All right.
Because I want Kirk Cousins to fail. No, just kidding. No, go ahead, Steve. What's on your mind?
Not much tonight. I'm sure you talked about this in hour one, but I'm just really quickly before I get to my question here. Is Amir Abdullah, is it yeah or not, Andy? What do you think? I don't know about that one.
Low risk proposition. Add something to the kick return game, especially since Holton Hill's playing a little bit more defense. Kind of nice. And I mean, probably has a higher ceiling than Brock Thomas, even though Amir's probably approaching it. So, whatever.
Yeah. Not a big deal. I mean, mostly it's to resolve the kick return situation.
Which they shouldn't even do it. So don't return the ball.
Yeah.
Take the free 25 yards.
Well, why don't we trade a 7 for Tymont?
Yeah, but if you keep doing that, they'll just start kicking it to the 1.
Well, I'm saying if they
it.
change their strategy, that's different. I get that.
And then pick up Amir Abdullah off the waivers, who will definitely not be available.
No, I'm not saying bringing him in was a bad move. I'm saying why return kicks in general? Take the free 25 yards if they're going to kick it in the end zone. Why take it out of the end zone?
Do you think that's true for everybody but Patterson? Do you think that's true for everybody? Do you think that's true for everybody but a few?
I'd say everybody but a few, maybe.
Okay.
And I think, and it's a case by case basis. Depends on what's the situation in the game.
Right. Yeah.
Like you don't want to do it every time, because if you're getting tackled at the 18-yard line, 20-yard line, you're losing yourself 5 yards. So I think there's a time and place to take the ball out of the end zone if you need to.
See, Matt and I always get 30. So.
Oh, right.
All right. So here's my question. That's no draft stuff tonight, because Miles, we argue about that in a different time. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, Miles,
so
we need to use your time usefully.
Here's my question. So what do we have to do to be successful in the second half of the season here? Like, the fumbles, turnovers, whatever in general. What do you guys think we need to do to be successful here and make a good run into the playoffs
Kelechi Osemele.
I think consistency on the offense. I think the offensive line is probably playing better. I mean, Arif can correct me if not.
Yeah, seems like.
I think they're playing a little bit better in pass protection. So I think we need a little bit more consistency out of.
We need Tom Compton back, baby. Universe, you win.
Yeah, and I think what's going to help is like really, truly, probably having Dalvin Cook back is going to help with having just like that third weapon that we. It kind of, you'll have Aldrick Robinson one week, you'll have Kyle Rudolph, you'll have, maybe Latavius Murray. But I think finding a guy who's going to be a consistent third weapon that can really elevate this offense so that there is.
Laquan Treadwell?
It's
wow,
dude.
So
no
reliable. Laquan Treadwell. Hell no.
Well, you just need something that's just not. You're never going to find anything as reliable as Thielen and Diggs, but I mean, we did see.
Yeah.
How this offense was affected without Diggs in the lineup, and then obviously defense could double team Adam Thielen. If you had another weapon on the offense, you could I think stretch the field more horizontally and then obviously more vertically as well too.
I want to piggyback off what Yinka just said too, is with getting Cook back, and you saw it on Sunday. They're able to use Cook in the screen game and in the pass game, and using him as like a little bit more of their gadget player, which we've seen them do with Diggs while Cook has been out. I think having Cook back might help take a little bit more pressure off Diggs to do that and allow him to be more of your deep threat again, which we saw earlier in the season. He's able to get downfield a little bit more often. I think that's a big part of this offense, being able to hit some big throws down the field that they haven't been able to do because teams have been doubling him to take that away. But if you bring in someone like Cook or like Yinka mentioned,
Eric, stop sexting during the show, man.
that third offensive weapon, I think that really helps. So that
was AOL Instant Messenger.
That'd be my move.
I thought they ended AIM.
That's where I'm excited to have Cook back.
Yeah, I thought they got rid of AIM. I would say that the one thing the offense probably needs to work on. I don't know how much you can work on this, but situational awareness.
Yeah.
I think that
Kirk.
I think that being able to execute in hurry up, being able to execute.
I don't think it's just Kirk
long.
though. I think that's the head. I think the offensive coordinator. I think it's the head coach.
Yeah. So I think that Kirk plays a role, but I think that you're right that you can't just kind of lay it at the feet of Cousins. I think that there are clock management issues at the head coach level. I think there are play calling issues at the offensive coordinator level. So whatever can help manage. Right. Whatever can help manage situational awareness offensively would be good. Defensively, I think the continued evolution of the defense is good. They've been playing a lot more cover 2, cover 4 looks. They used to play a lot of cover 1, cover 3 stuff. And I think that it's not difficult to find answers to cover 2 or cover 4. I mean, that's been kind of the story of the league. The teams will only have to go back like 3-4 years to find their answers to cover 2. So they're going to have to continue to evolve. Maybe, play cover 6, which is kind of a mixed coverage, or cover 9, just another mixed coverage, or, play mixed man zones again like they did at the beginning of the year. But they're going to need to continue to evolve because I think that the answers that they've come upon that have kind of revitalized the defense are probably not going to stick around for a long time.
Yeah. Okay, well, have a good night, guys. Hey, Miles, remember again, Dalton Reiser, remember that name. Have a good night, guys. I'll talk to you later.
The quick
Is that
question.
like the tackle from Kansas or whatever?
That was Swayze from Roadhouse.
Yeah, he is.
Roadhouse.
He's got great PFF numbers.
He's not very athletic.
He's got great PFF numbers.
With that being said, like, how often do you think? I remember Zim probably in 2015. He talked often about like, he would have his weekly meetings with Teddy. They would just kind of go over things. How often do you think that that's happening with Kirk in which to kind of solve some of these offensive inconsistencies, like the situational football and stuff? I've been curious about that because I feel like that's, like you said, I think that is the thing with the quarterback, that's the thing with the head coach, and then obviously the offensive coordinator.
We're part of those meetings with Teddy because Teddy was so young. I mean, Kirk Cousins is 30 years old, 7th year in the league. Like, both obviously they all need work on that situational football right now, that the entire offense, like as a whole. But like, I feel like part of that with Teddy was like that relationship he had with him being young and trying to make help each other grow, because they wanted to grow together, right?
Yeah, develop that leadership.
Yeah. I'm not saying they're not doing it with Kirk, but I don't know if it's as necessary.
Is it?
I don't know. No, I'm not every coach.
No, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying
every
you're
coach
wrong.
does it with their quarterback. Yeah. Like, it's their first year working together. I think the offense as a whole needs to. I think this bye week needs to be a big part of, like, to what we're talking about, is figuring out how to fix some of that situational football. I know it's not going to be able to fix overnight. It's not something that's probably going to be flat out fixed during the season. It's an off-season type of thing where you can fix it, but it's something that they can get better at, and we know that they can do that. And I think, maybe it's letting Kirk call some plays on the field instead of having to wait for the offensive coordinator to radio in plays, because you have to know the situation, right? We have to know what happens here. I need to call a play. We get first down, but we're in bounds. We need to move the ball. Kirk should have 2 or 3 plays that he can go to his arsenal and just tell the offense, this is what we're running because this is what we need to do. Maybe to get out of bounds, stop the clock, whatever they need to do. That's a big part of it. And that is a big chemistry thing too, because you have a new offensive coordinator and a new quarterback.
Hey, caller, we still there?
Yep.
Hey, what's going on, Hoodie?
Guys?
Oh, what's up, Hoodie?
Oh, it's Hoodie. Hey, what's going on, man?
Yeah, great. I know.
I'm wearing so
all the guys are there. Say you were all politicians.
Yeah.
Which one of you would be most likely to be arrested, and what would you be arrested for?
Yinka.
What? Why?
No, Arif.
Wow, that was quick on Yinka.
There's a structural barrier to Yinka's freedom. That's all I'm saying.
Yinka's a gangster.
That's right. You know me.
Yinka's a gangster.
Yeah.
Wait, why would he get arrested? So you guys said yes quickly. What would he get arrested for?
Jaywalking, man. It doesn't matter.
Littering.
Dude, come on, really?
It probably would be something stupid like jaywalking.
Use the
Yinka's a habitual line stepper.
Use campaign money for a saxophone.
That's fair.
Yeah, I could see Yinka embezzling.
I could
see that too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Embezzling? What would I embezzle?
Saxophone.
No,
I guess so.
Yeah.
He put pack money to pack his pockets.
I'm not really a saxophone.
Stupid
I'm not really a saxophone
memorabilia.
Yeah, I'm not really a saxophone collector though. I've gotten.
I mean, you could be.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I could.
Suddenly, the campaign coppers have like millions of dollars in it.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what I could use?
I just don't feel like I have enough saxophone for me to be able to play all 3 that I enjoy.
So you've
playing.
got 3 saxophones.
3 saxophones.
Would you not enjoy having 9?
I would not.
What?
If you look at my,
Reeve, you're saying that Yinka is the Imelda Marcos of saxophones?
Yeah.
I know guys who are like saxophone collectors and stuff. It's
Right.
just I just don't think that could be me.
But it could be.
No, I really don't think
All
so.
right, sneakers.
No, not in the
You
shoes.
seen his shoe game?
Yeah, that's true. It's terrible. Hoodies? No, I mean, hoodies.
No.
It's anime. memorabilia.
I was just gonna say,
anime
Not
memorabilia.
even that. Like I guess
He would embezzle for it's the most embarrassing scandal in political
But there's a lot of
history.
money in it. There's right.
Yeah, you could get all kinds of like high priced anime figurines and some premium
see I don't even have those
made out of
though.
porcelain.
Oh, man.
Well, yeah, because you don't have millions of dollars to
Right.
spend.
Yet.
Yeah,
I just don't know if the passion would be there though. You know.
it's definitely there. Anyway, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, Dan.
Not really. But
I'm not saying
anyway,
you guys are wrong about the embezzlement stuff. I'm just saying
I'm actually.
What
more
would I
concerned
buy?
that-
I don't buy
Like,
or
why
want
would you guys
anything.
go Yinka? Like the fact that Andy and Arif just said Yinka like right away was actually
Yeah,
pretty
that- they
startling.
did not
I'm
have
not
to
gonna lie
think
to you.
about that at all.
That's wrong.
I don't think that
Ooh, ooh,
Yink is
no, I got
more
it.
likely to have a propensity to commit.
Like you guys
Wait,
just said,
I
it. Like,
think
got
it's
it.
more likely
you
to be
take a
caught.
second. You
Wait,
guys
no,
said
hold
it,
on,
like,
hold on. I
Yinka.
got it. Hey, hold on, hoodie. Yinka sets up a private email server to spam everyone emails about a Nigerian prince who needs your help.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Yinka fundraising would actually be a Nigerian prince asking for money via email.
Legitimately.
Yeah, that's what he's arrested for. I mean, the lack of situational awareness. Yeah, that's perfect.
Wait, actually, I take that back because we found out that's not a crime. Anyways, yeah, what's on your mind, hoodie? Feeling good?
I forgot. I got ADD now. I forgot what we were even talking about.
We need to talk about that. Hold on. We need to talk about that your voice does not sync up with how you actually look. Like you're one of those weird people where the
like
voice.
the guy who plays Archer.
Yeah. Like the voice sounds like, I would say like a 68-year-old smoker. Maybe
Sweet.
thrice divorced. Yeah. And you
Sweet.
look like a normal like 40s-year-old dude.
Yeah, I that's a compliment. Sure.
Yeah.
So,
it's the most backhanded one I could think of.
A 60-year-old. Wait,
Saying-
it's so funny. I haven't smoked a day in my life either, which is actually really funny too. I don't know how to think about that. Anyway, so let's. At this point, for the play, who is more likely to get re-signed now after 10 games, Richardson or Barr?
I think that
Richardson, in my
Richardson is more valuable to the Vikings at the moment. But I think it's still probably Barr because Barr is unique and Richardson is good. And there's a difference between the two, and you can find good defensive tackles that are. The Vikings have already done it once.
And also just think of the relative value of their positions. I mean, Barr is like throw out 12, sure. I mean, Sheldon might be pushing some of that big 3-tech money on his next deal, and that's 15, 16.
Is that because of the Vikings' other parts of the front line that's giving him this? That's the thing, though, is because it's the same way you could say that about Diggs and Thielen got Bradford and Keenum rich. So in theory, you could say the same thing about Hunter, Joseph, and EG, that they are basically would do the same thing for Richardson.
I don't think. So Richardson was a first-round pick. He was really good early on in his career. We knew the reason he was out in New York was because of more
Girl, you up?
his behaviors off the field. But everybody knows that talent's there. He's a popular name. Everybody knows he's a really good player. So obviously coming to Minnesota was beneficial for him, but for the long term. But I don't know if that completely changes people's perception. I mean, coming here and being a stand-up citizen maybe is a bigger aspect of it than playing next to the guys he plays next to. But
maybe. I mean, he seems to be enjoying himself probably more than he has maybe since like his first 2 years with the Jets.
No, that's true.
Pretty
Yeah.
pretty.
he's also
realistic,
making
though.
$8 million this year. So
Yeah, also
that would help.
enjoyable. Yeah. No, I mean he genuinely seems to enjoy having the Vikings locker room, having the Vikings coaching, and having the Vikings players around him. That's all true. It does seem like he signed a 1-year deal specifically to increase his value and kind of leverage as much as he can. into another year, and that is just going to be difficult for the Vikings. So, I mean, it really depends on what Anthony Barr's asking price is, because if it's like north of 12, I don't think the Vikings are going to play. Whereas Richardson getting 12 is kind of positionally appropriate, but would also be difficult for the Vikings. So,
unless they, which brings up my second point, is that since Holden Hill has been doing so well.
Yeah.
No. I know where you're going with this. No.
No. Finish your question.
No.
Do they rescind Wayne's 5th year so that way if Hughes, Hill?
Oh, I thought he was going to say punt Xavier.
No, because there's no guaranteed money on Wayne.
Who made that whole punt Xavier stuff was just horrible. It's just no.
I may have started that.
Back to the Richardson or Barr thing though. Who, Arif, and maybe you can answer a little bit. Who'd be easier to replace in this defense though? Because we saw someone like Tom Johnson come in last year and played at an extremely high level. And he's come back and he's playing well again. Mm-hmm. We know the defensive line coach is the best defensive line coach in the league. I think that's pretty evident.
Right. So that's what I mean by Barr is unique and Richardson is good. Right. I think Richardson, and we talked about in hour one that Barr is really difficult to replace because he's just got this unique set of athletic talent, and it's very difficult to find someone with edge rusher athleticism that can play linebacker.
Right.
Whereas Richardson, I mean, we're gonna hit the most talented defensive tackle class maybe in the history of the NFL, certainly in a long time, in this year's draft. You're probably gonna find a guy who'd be drafted mid-round 1 at the top of round 2, maybe even later in the draft. And so you'll probably find a defensive tackle that you like that, maybe he doesn't produce quite as much as Sheldon Richardson for the first couple of years, but will be pretty close. Whereas I don't think that's necessarily the case for Barr.
Well, and the guys he'd be playing around are a lot better.
Would enable that.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe you keep Tom Johnson for another year, but Jaleel Johnson has improved pretty dramatically. And by keeping Tom Johnson, I mean as a backup to whoever you end up drafting.
Right. Right. And because you don't know if you're going to get another good year out of him. It's almost the Terrence Newman situation.
Exactly.
When does when does he fall off the cliff?
So but I mean, they like kind of what's happening at defensive tackle. I really like Afadi at which I mean he's a Viking again.
Yeah.
But he looked really good at defensive tackle in the preseason and early on. Jalen Holmes is kind of promising too. So you've got options in depth, and really you just kind of want to round out whoever that starting star is going to be. And you can build around it. Like I think positionally that defensive tackle is more important than a linebacker, but the Vikings are kind of weird with what ends up mattering in their defense. And I think that because Barr is unique, they're more likely to try and retain him unless we get to a price breaking point, which is definitely very possible. And that's kind of the only situation where I think they'd prefer to go after, say, Richardson instead of Barr, which, maybe...
Do you think a 3-4 team would go after Barr hardcore? Like make him like,
hey,
if I was Barr, that's what I'd want to do.
I'd go to Green Bay, mend some fences.
Texas.
I'm telling you, it would not shock me if the Packers overspent for him. I really do mean it. It would not shock me.
And honestly, he'd look pretty good in the Mike Patton defense.
Texans as well too, right? I mean, how long is JJ going to be able to continue to play? I mean, with those injuries consistently?
Forever.
No, my place has been toss him on the Chargers. Let me go back home. Him, Ingram, Bosa. Come on.
That'd be rude.
I think they got some. I think they got some cap space too.
They do.
The Chargers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, once Rivers retires after winning the Super Bowl, they'll have plenty. He will never win. I don't think he'll ever retire either.
One real quick question before I go, guys. What do the Vikings need to do these last several weeks of the season to challenge? It's pretty obvious they're not going to get a bye in the first round. I think that's a given at this point. Most realistically is to play first round at home for the division, or probably against someone like Philly or Carolina. What do they need to do, a la like 2000 and what, is it 6 or 15 when they probably could have, I felt very confident they could have challenged the Cardinals and Panthers that year pretty easily in the playoffs. What do they need to do, say like they did in 2015, like at the last stretch of 4 or 5 games, to really solidify themselves going into the playoffs, or to even make the playoffs this year?
Get healthy, stay healthy. I think that's what it comes down to. Got to show well these next 4 games, all in premium slots, all against tough opponents. And then, I mean, you got the Dolphins and Lions and Bears.
Yeah, so in the Vikings, according to win percentage, have the 3rd most difficult strength of schedule. I mean, obviously, I've been saying for a couple of weeks, I think the Bears are fake, or at least Mitchell Trubisky is. In terms of the statistics they put forward, I think that offensively they won't be as good, but the Bears have a really good defense regardless. The Dolphins will be a little bit easier. So the records are not a great example of how strong that schedule is, but I think kind of no matter how you split it, it's a really difficult schedule. And so for them to kind of weather that storm, they're going to have to be a lot tighter about things. I mean, the last question we got was kind of what do they need to do, and most of the answers we got were, maintain consistency, kind of return Dalvin Cook, but also, mind your P's and Q's, be better in terms of situational awareness, continue to evolve in the defense. And those are all things that are higher priorities for the Vikings this year than I think they've ever been, because they've been more consistent in previous years, especially on defense. They've had better situational awareness on offense. They've been able to kind of manufacture a running game, whereas here it's so difficult for the Vikings right now to manufacture a running game. So those are all kind of things that are going to matter. You're right. I mean, you're right. I think the 1 or 2 seed is kind of a pipe dream. Unless the Rams stumble huge. Unless who's the other one? The Saints probably.
Saints trash
Saints,
it.
Yeah, unless the Saints and the Panthers kind of like cannibalize themselves in the same division, it's going to be really difficult. So, yeah, it's going to be tough to get to that bye. But I think that the Vikings have a path there. And if they're lucky, they'll be able to go up against the NFC East in maybe a revenge game for Kirk, right? Be able to go up in the NFC East.
It'll
in the first
all
round of
be
the playoffs.
Adrian storylines.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
Oh, God. Darn
It's double revenge game.
that.
Double revenge.
And can Cousins actually win in the playoffs? I have high, serious doubts that he can perform at a certain level in the playoffs.
That I think is the situational awareness thing. You're put into one of the aspects of the playoffs is that you're put into those situations more often, where you have to adjust your playing style to kind of what's happening around you, whether or not that's 2-minute or 3rd and long or whatever, or unusual blitz packages or whatever. And so that might be the thing that's going to kind of make or break the Vikings' ability to win in the playoffs next year or this year.
I love people discovering the Kirk kneel down boner for the first time.
Hilarious.
It is so great. It's just wonderful. Hoodie, appreciate you calling in. You're wonderful too, man.
Have a great night, gentlemen.
Yeah.
You too.
All right. At Vikes Twins 1, seems people, not necessarily you guys, sheesh, are overlooking the Bears. Well, we kind of are. What's your take on the upcoming opponent? I watch them pretty regularly and continue to be impressed. They had the look of a team that believes. I'm worried, and just because of Soldier Field struggles. Well, the defense is legit. Fangio's up there in terms of defensive minds in the league. Get Khalil Mack back healthy, but as Reef alluded to, Mitchell Trubisky.
The offense is fake. The defense is really remarkable because you've got Khalil Mack, you've got Akeem Hicks. They've been kind of drawing a lot of headlines. Fuller, some K name,
K Fuller.
yeah, that we were not able to determine in the first hour. Some manner of cornerback named Fuller is going to be a huge problem, and he's been kind of flying a little bit under the radar with regards to the performance on that Bears defense. Adrian Amos and Eddie Jackson are really phenomenal safeties, and it's going to be just difficult to figure anything out. I mean, like their weakness is that they're not great at linebacker, I guess. So I mean that's kind of it. They're a really remarkably stacked defense.
How's Roquan been playing?
I mean, he hasn't been playing a ton is the problem. I think if he'd been playing more, because, in the snaps that he's played really well. So I think if he'd been playing more,
It's like he should have been in camp or something.
Right, yeah. But, he's playing well.
Their quarterback can't throw left either, so that's a big part of it.
That's your fault.
It is my fault.
Oh my God.
That has changed really substantially.
It's like out of spite too.
Yeah,
they were like Matt Nagy was like, let's just throw left.
Yeah, against Buffalo and against Tampa Bay, that's all they did is throw left. Like last week, there was like 3 big plays to the left and a touchdown. I'm just like, man, this is bullying. You're bullying me.
What percentage chance are they literally doing that? Matt Nagy on Tuesdays, just game planning, just because like I saw that tweet from that guy from The Athletic.
Well, it's not
That'll
zero,
show.
and that's what bothers me.
It's not zero.
I mean, it even got to the point where, like, Nick Wright on his show with Chris Carter mentioned it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, people are pretty aware of this throw left thing.
I had that weird TV show that's on at like 6 in the morning.
Yeah, what's it called? The Countdown?
First things first.
Yeah, first things first.
Yeah.
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 So there you go. I would not be shocked. Or so the Bears are 5-3 now. I wouldn't be shocked if they end up 7-9.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked, but I don't expect that specifically. I think a 9-win team.
Do we think that last game of the season is actually going to mean something? That's
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
because the last 2 years it hasn't. So
It's a playing game.
maybe it might be.
Might be.
Yeah. So the Packers 3-4-1, and they
Cake schedule.
Yeah, they got Miami at home. Then they're at Seattle. So, I mean, say the split there could end up 4-5-1 heading into the Week 12 game, Sunday Night Football. Put the dagger in. Just put the knife right in between the ribs and just like.
That really is the game, though, isn't it?
It is.
Like that will determine the entire I won't say the entire NFC North, but majority of probably what we expect the NFC North to finish out is how that Sunday night game goes. Vikings playing back-to-back Sunday night games too, which is interesting.
That's crazy.
I think it's cool.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then the late slate on Sunday, the Sunday after against New England, then Monday night against Seattle. It's like, oh, we're basically the Cowboys now.
Wait, we play
Actually, it's
Seattle
really-
on Monday.
It's really good for me because the Vikings pull out all the stops in the media food department on national games, whereas on noon games it's never bad.
It's like
much
chicken strips and stuff.
I mean, yeah, it's not bad. It's much better than let's say the Jets media spread is like awful. So it's like better than the Packers, which is about average for the league from what I understand. So it's always good, but they really pull out the stops for these national games,
So
man.
what was Saints game like?
Let's see. That one, they treated everyone to like super Minnesotan foods. I think I even tweeted out about it. It was like Swedish meatballs and tater tots, and like this walleye thing. They had like a make your own s'more station that was dope as hell.
But you wonder why there's stereotypes.
Well, yeah, I mean, they played to them, right? They leaned in, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The Swedish meatballs were delicious, by the way. The walleye bites were better than fish sticks. That's damning by fan praise. They were good, but they weren't amazing. Tater tots were tater tots. So
At Kyle Wilkin, TDB. Mike Remmers was the highest graded right guard in the league according to PFF last week. Is that a trend or simply bad D-line with the Lions?
he played like well. He didn't play like the best guard.
Or is
in the
it
NFL.
because a bunch of teams were on bye and then everyone else played bad?
I mean, that might have played a role. I mean, he played well. I mean, he might have been once you include run blocking, he might have been the best performing offensive lineman that week for the Vikings.
I just remember the play where Dalvin Cook caught a screen and he missed his block out in space, and that's all I remember from Mike Remmers from that game on
Right.
Sunday.
Well, yeah, that's kind of why I'm like, man, like he definitely didn't play mistake free.
Right.
I thought PFF didn't, I think, credit him with any pressures, but I think he contributed to a pressure. But the good thing is that that's nitpicking, right? But the thing is, if you're nitpicking, you can't have been, the best player or played like you would expect a best player of the week to play. But I thought, Brown O'Neill may have had an argument for playing better, right? The good thing is that Mike Remmers had some games where he was one of the worst. And so that we're having this discussion, I think, is a really good move in the right direction, especially because you had Isadora there. And if you have two liabilities at guard, I mean, you're boned. So, he played really well. What's interesting is that the Lions' defensive line is really great at stopping the run. And just kind of awful at rushing the passer. So.
Unless you get Ziggy on a left guard.
Yeah, yeah.
That seemed to work.
I mean, the left guard was Isadora, so.
Also, I love on the 70-yard Dalvin run, like, Danny almost screwed it up. Is like, because he had the play side.
Yeah,
DN is
that's
just
right,
like,
Almost got him. All right.
But what can you do? We can talk about Brian O'Neill. 0 pressures given up. It was only 26 passing snaps, but don't really care. Start him forever.
I mean, that's kind of. There are some of us obviously that were a little bit, skeptical as far as the pick, but we figured with his athleticism that he would develop into the kind of player that we needed him to be at right tackle. And it looks like he's been able to do that thus far, sooner probably than we thought he was going to get there. But, you can't fault him for his play so far. I think it's been, good, not great.
Yeah. Hey, caller, who we got?
We got Cisco here from New York.
Hey, is this Brian O'Neill?
No, this is not.
Damn it. All right. Hey, what's on your mind, man?
I'm good. Just letting you guys know that I did fix my smoke alarm system, and I relocated states.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, nice.
Now, did you replace it with a new battery, or did you just remove it? Because that's the ladder's not great.
I put a new one in, man.
Hey, all right.
Too much hassle.
There you go.
Hey, so I don't know if you guys talked about this, but my question is, where do you see Daniel Hunter in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation? Like top 5, top 3?
Top 3, I think.
Yeah. Mac certainly hurt himself by being hurt
right
the past couple games.
It's going to be tough to top Aaron Donald, who's having an even better year than last year when he won Defensive Player of the Year. And to get 10.5 sacks as a defensive tackle and be 1 sack behind the sack leader is nuts.
Crazy.
And, obviously Donald has the recognition that's going to help him too. But after that, I don't know that we've had a cornerback play consistently enough to put themselves in the conversation unless,
Also, it's tough for cornerbacks to win.
It is.
Only 2 since 1994.
And one of them was Richard Sherman, right? And the other one was Darrell? Was it
no,
Darrell?
Charles Woodson, 09, Deion Sanders, 94.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Was Woodson considered a cornerback?
Wait, how did Darrell not win in 09? That's nuts.
Yeah.
But and, no Champ Bailey? Okay.
Join the AP, Arif.
Yeah, right. So, he's top 3 because I can't think of 4 others, right? Like Von Miller's been playing well, but not well enough to say.
J.J. Watt too's in that same.
J.J.
He's played
Watt,
well, but
yeah.
What would it take for him to, maybe take that step? Like Donald having
20.
a bad second half and him continuing that,
Donald's not going to have a bad second half, so it would take 20.
That dude doesn't play bad football.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think he's had a bad game.
The minute you saw the dude playing with knives as his workout, he's going to have a fantastic season.
I love that Aaron Donald and Daniel Cormier have brought in the super athlete but dad bod.
Yeah.
Just whatever. It's
no, I really think it'll be for Daniel Hunter to show out in some of these primetime games. That's gonna really
the primetime games.
That's really
going
to be big for him. And then, like Arif said, getting to 17, 18, 19, 20 sacks is really it's gonna need to be that.
Oh yeah, these next 4 games, if he continues the sack streak, picks it up again. You got Brady, you got Russell Wilson, you got Aaron Rodgers, the Titans of the game, and also Trubisky. If he gets all 4 of them, like I said, 3 primetime games and 1 late Sunday games. Hell, bring it.
All righty, guys. Thanks for answering the question. I appreciate it.
Hey, appreciate you.
Have a good night.
You too, man.
Thank you.
Reef, you remember when me and Luke did that live mock draft on the air, and Brian O'Neill was just still sitting there, round 3, pass, round 4, pass, round 5, pass, 6. Did we take him in the 6th?
I think we.
Or did we just let him go?
It was weird that he was available.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those mock simulators are fun because I'd always find Brian O'Neill in the 4th, 5th round, and I was like, I'll pull the trigger. He's an athletic guy.
Good choice.
Yeah. Day 3. I'll take a chance on an athlete, like an athletic tackle.
Another Twitter question is from Matt B99. At the end of the first half, Cousins gets sacked and a timeout is called with 8 seconds left instead of letting it run down to 3 and avoiding a kickoff after the field goal attempt. Does this prove Zimmer doesn't really understand clock management?
I don't think it proves it. I just think it's another kind of notch in the boneheaded maybe there's maybe there's a better way to handle this situation.
Say that to his face, man.
You handled that for me, so I'm good. That's all you, bro.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it proves it, but it adds to the pile of evidence that we have, which is substantial at this point.
He needs to play Madden more.
He does, man. I got back into Madden, and I have relearned a lot of things about clock management real fast.
Yeah, select his timeout. Caller, who we got?
Oh, it's Michael.
Hey, Michael.
Hey.
What's going on, man?
Not much. I mean, first and foremost, we kept Minnesota blue, so that's great.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Michael, both sides need to come together, red and blue, and just everyone be purple, especially for the stretch run.
Oh, yeah. See, that was clever-ish.
Yeah. Well, I guess my question is, like, how do you guys believe we can sweep the division?
Yeah, I believe they can. I don't think it's the most likely thing, but I certainly think it's well within the realm of possibilities.
Can we technically sweep since we've tied?
The rest. I think the rest of the
Yeah, you said rest. Yeah. To go 5-0-1 in the division. Yeah, I think it's possible. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think it's the most likely thing in the world.
And then still lose it.
What does Inca and Miles think?
Yeah, what do Yinka and Miles think?
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think it's possible that we're going to sweep the division. I think we're going to drop one of these games, and I wouldn't be surprised if we lose against the Bears but win against the Packers. So I just think there's going to be one game between the Bears, Lions, and the Packers that we're going to drop.
Only one of the remaining games is outdoors. It's the Chicago game on Sunday night. The rest are,
got that pretty early, relatively speaking. That's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. So it's helpful. But then the rest are, in Detroit, and then the rest are in Minnesota. So I think they have an opportunity. We haven't seen them play as well at home as we've seen, as the home field advantage we've seen in years past since U.S. Bank Stadium opened. But I think if they can start gathering and start playing better at home, I think they have a good chance.
I mean, I just don't want to lose to the Bears. I mean, because it just seems like because they're like their fans are going like, "Well, we're gonna win the division. We're not scared of the Vikings," and like Green Bay is like bad. I just like, I would take losing to Green Bay if it meant that we swept the Bears.
Wow.
You know.
Well, I mean, that's one for two.
I don't want to lose to Mitchell Trubisky.
Okay, I can get on board with that. When you put it like that, how could I disagree?
Well, I mean,
when you've tied one of the games against the Packers, I mean, if you can sweep let's say you lose to the Packers, but you sweep the rest, like
4-1-1 on the division.
That's a really good outing. So I mean, you're okay with that.
Okay, I guess last thing is, do you guys think we can beat the Patriots?
Hell yeah.
They are definitely beatable, but I just don't. With the inconsistency and the lack of
in New England,
but you know that Belichick has got some troll in him. Cordero's gonna get like 15 offensive touches and score like 2 tutties, and it'll just be like face.
I am not confident about that game.
No, Cordero fullback dive.
That's probably my least confident game of the rest of the way.
Yeah.
The rest, they should be able to compete.
I'm actually more confident about them beating the Rams in a rematch than I am with the Patriots.
Yeah.
Especially
because was it like Tom Brady or Peyton Manning who had like a winning record against like Mike Zimmer defenses? I don't know which one was it. So I guess just like
probably.
Does Tom Brady have a losing record against anybody?
Yeah, that's true. But I just don't want. It's gonna be just sad that the Lions are gonna be the only team in the North that beats the Patriots.
They caught them at the right time. I mean, if the Vikings caught the Patriots in week 4 or 5, maybe,
Yeah. I mean, the Patriots always kind of start off slow for them. But we're past that stage, and the Patriots have figured out kind of whatever problems they happen to start the season with this year. Certainly, it's not.
Do you think it's more likely that it's just going to be like Tom Brady just like beating us than that it's going to be like, it's more like we can't stop Tom Brady and we just can't score enough points to keep up with Tom Brady. And
I think it'll be some of that, but I also think that Bill Belichick is probably going to out-scheme our...
I think of it more like the Saints game. Like, if you can't make any mistakes.
Right.
At all.
I think also part of it is just... so Zimmer's been moving and shifting the base coverage. And I think the Vikings are still kind of feeling out the advantages and disadvantages. And I think that the Patriots will figure out really quickly kind of what plays they think can beat the changes in the defense. and kind of go after them again and again and again. The Patriots even have like videos up on their website about like how Belichick approaches games, and they break down a couple of plays every week. It's actually really great. And some of the stuff they talk about is like, oh yeah, so we saw this play happen. We saw these two defenders talk to each other. We figured if they were talking to each other that they were going to adjust in this way. So the next play we called was to call against the adjustment they hadn't yet made in the game that we assumed they were going to make. And it's like a 40-yard touchdown. And because I think the Vikings are implementing a new style of defense that they, are kind of adapting to, they're kind of flying by with it, I think that the Patriots will find, additional ways for that offense to attack. So I'm worried about that. I think that Miles is right that you just can't make mistakes against the Patriots, especially kind of at this point in the season. So I'm worried, but, it's certainly not impossible. I think that, Cousins could have a 300-yard, 3-touchdown night, and I think that the Vikings defense can kind of do enough to keep the Patriots out of a 2-minute situation where they'll get eviscerated.
Yeah, and besides, Kirk's only lost once to the Patriots, so keep your head up.
Yeah, I guess if like we win the division but we lose to the Patriots, it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
You got to get into the playoffs.
I get it. It's the Patriots, but also it's a road non-conference game. Who cares?
We'll beat them in Atlanta. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
See you, Mike. Yeah. All right. So.
Well, that's what the Super Bowl.
I know. It just. Yeah. We'll definitely lose against them in New England, but come Atlanta,
that's not a home game for them, man.
Yeah. Well,
Patriots,
Super Bowls kind of feel like home games for the Patriots.
But I'm saying it's a dome.
I know. Yeah.
Patriots winning the Super Bowl this year would absolutely just like twist the knife in Falcons fans, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just another.
Yeah.
That's another level. It's great. Oh, I found out. I found our 7-round mock draft from earlier this year.
Did we take Brandon
The
Neal?
Saints too, by the way, would be
30 Will Hernandez.
Oops.
62
pretty well.
62 Marcus Davenport. He fell.
Wait, Arif, you were on board with taking Will Hernandez at 30?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's not a scheme fit, but he's
interesting.
Because
I think Connor Williams is off the board because if I remember right, there's like a late run on O lineman, so we just grabbed whatever. Third round.
Miles is playing some game with Steve
I'm just surprised. No, I'm just surprised that you're of the interior, not any, but like you're taking an interior.
Yeah, it doesn't fit positional value. I don't really.
Third round cornerback Isaiah Oliver, Colorado.
Has he even played?
Yeah, what's going on? Where is he?
I feel like he's not even.
He's trying to put on weight. He's 140 pounds. What do you want?
On a defense that gives up quite a bit of points.
Fifth round pick Harrison Phillips, D tackle from Stanford.
Yeah, how did he fall to the
Buffalo,
fifth round?
right?
Yeah.
Siberia.
He's in Siberia.
They get 3 sacks on Cousins that week 3.
Of course he did.
6th round Josie Jewell, Iowa linebacker.
Is he in the league?
Broncos, I think.
He starts?
I think he starts for the Broncos.
What a great pick by us.
Yeah. 6th round Brian O'Neill.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Other 6th round pick Poona Ford.
Poona's playing for the Seahawks, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Johnson subtweeted him. And lastly, 7th round Durham Smythe.
Oh, for
Notre
the
Dame.
Cowboys.
Yeah. Blocking tight end.
We needed.
Yeah, would have been perfect.
Yeah, he fits perfectly.
What a great draft by us. Except for Isaiah Oliver, I guess. Who it looks like has not seen the field.
There you go.
Oh no, Josie Jewell does not start. I know. I remember during the training camp they had talked about him being a potential starter.
All right. Rest of the Twitter questions, and we're going to go get some chicken. I'm going to skip over all the Amir Abdullah questions because I think we hashed that one out. At Chief and Ho, the team as breakfast. It's a great Twitter handle. Kirk and Zim would be slightly burnt toast. Who would be pancakes?
Okay, so I clarified Mac Alexander, slightly burnt toast, but next.
Yeah. Pancakes.
Linval.
Yeah. Pop-Tarts?
Trey Waynes.
What? Why?
What's so special about Pop-Tarts?
You don't like Pop-Tarts?
I like Pop-Tarts,
Trey
but
Waynes
what are special about Pop-Tarts?
Trey Waynes would be the strawberry unfrosted.
Oh, oof. Well, what's a s'mores? Because s'mores Pop-Tarts are the best Pop-Tarts.
Yes, facts. Or the cinnamon ones.
Fair. So who's the s'mores Pop-Tart? Prepackaged, good out of the box.
Mike Hughes.
There you go.
Before the injury, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Bacon and eggs.
Daniil and Everson.
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
Can't improve on that.
That's a walkout. Now, waffles.
See, I really like waffles. So
Adam Thielen?
Waffles can be sweet and
I said
savory.
really like waffles.
Yeah, I like chicken and waffles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Dude, there were so they serve chicken and waffles sometimes in the yeah.
Riley Reef?
No. Sorry, I like waffles.
Stephon Diggs would be a good one for waffles.
No.
Chicken and waffles? Stephon Diggs? What?
Well, yeah, that makes so much sense.
See, I was going to put that forward, except I'm not allowed to.
I know. That's why I did it. That's why I did it.
Thank you.
But yeah,
Thank you, Mouse.
sometimes like the media guys are like, oh, you can serve chicken with waffles. I'm not gonna do it. I'm like, what are you doing?
What?
And it's like not the best chicken on the planet.
Was
for
it Matthew Collar?
No.
I think Collar's more on board with all kinds of things.
It was like Charlie Shooter from Pioneer Press.
I'm not gonna name names.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I was trying to convince them like, no, you can. It's delicious.
Oh
and again,
my
it was like
gosh.
not the greatest chicken on the planet for it, but it was still chicken and it was good. And you have
Roasted
waffles
chicken.
and no, but you like waffles and fried chicken and syrup, and it's delicious.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Stephon Diggs.
Breakfast burrito.
Pat Elfline?
Dalvin Cook. I don't know
Sure,
why though.
sure.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it just feels right.
That breakfast burrito that we had at Burger King that one time.
Are you reminiscing about a fast food breakfast burrito?
I'm just saying it was really good. You
Dalvin
remember
Cook.
it was 2 years ago when we went up to training camp?
I don't remember this at all.
Oh my god, I remember all of my
It's a
memories.
breakfast
with the reef.
burrito from Burger King.
So sad.
It was really good.
So
yeah,
it's
Dalvin
so
Cook.
it's forgettable. So it's who is it?
Yeah, a good breakfast burrito, Dalvin Cook.
Yeah. Okay.
Gas station breakfast burrito.
Say it.
Latavius.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
that was gonna be the.
I thought it was gonna be somebody else.
All right, 3 more. Cheerios.
Say Kyle Rudolph.
No.
Cheerios.
Cheerios?
Oh, that's that's Rudolph. That's Rudolph
Yeah.
to a T.
Wait, Honey Nut or not? Just regular Cheerios?
Okay, yeah, then.
I mean, regular Cheerios aren't bad. It's just once you've had Honey Nut.
I know.
why?
Once it's like, why do you go back? You know.
So that's Kyle Rudolph, right? Because he's very similar to a bunch of great tight ends. but
David
it's
Morgan's Honey Nut.
like, not. David Morgan is not Honey Nut.
No, he's not. He's like brand.
He's Crackling Oak brand.
He's like brand.
Muesli?
Muesli?
Sure.
It's granola.
Yeah.
So I mean,
That's got to be Kirk.
yeah,
That's a good one.
There you go. Yeah,
Cheerios would have been a good
I
one for
I
him,
was gonna
too.
say I was gonna say Kirk for Cheerios, but
that fits too, actually.
you guys
Or-
wanted Rudy's. So I was
But
like,
no, Muesli's better
And
for Kirk. I mean,
Yeah.
not then.
no, I'll do this one.
and
Black pudding.
there we go.
Oh yeah, black pudding.
So that's blood sausage, right?
Yeah.
God, I love it. But it's weird.
That's got to be Riley
People
Reef.
don't get it.
Like that just seems like a Riley Reef thing. I don't know. Like I look at the dude and I'm like, that dude just eats like
But
blood
it's not.
sausage.
Like, but it's not. It's not what they would like. It's
But, like,
who
look
they
at
are.
him. Just look
Who's
at
a
him.
player on the team that like people don't get that is secretly really good?
J. Ron Curse.
No,
Nah,
not enough snaps for that.
Anthony Barr.
Yeah.
Andrew Sandejo.
Oh, I like that one too because he is. I mean, we've seen them not skip a beat without him, but he's also played well at the same
Yeah.
time.
Right?
so-
Yeah.
Like people don't understand that Andrew Sandejo is actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't.
Who's weirder between the two? That's who you want to give the
Yeah.
between Anthony Barr and Andrew Sandejo. Who's weirder?
Anderson Deo.
Andrew Sandejo, he's just like really chill.
Yeah, I think he's just a bro, man. I don't know how weird he is.
He's
I
not,
find that weird.
Well, I mean, if you saw some of the paintings that he put up in his apartment, then
is he weird?
he's not. There's a weird
He
aspect.
had Yinka in his apartment. Of
There's
course
a
he's
weird aspect to his personality, but I wouldn't call him weird. Like Harrison Smith is a little weird.
He is.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he's
like
a little-
Harrison. I like Harrison. He's a nice guy.
Well, he
He's a nice guy. Yeah,
swag. He's got swag too. From
All right, Harrison Smith is black pudding. Done.
Is Harrison Smith the most likely on the team to be a secret murderer?
No.
No, he's not.
No, not like real life Aaron Hernandez murder. We're talking about like cartoonish.
like Hitman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be Trey Wayans because he doesn't talk to anybody.
Yes.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, leaves no trail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both figures.
Last one, diabetic dough. Again, one of the better Twitter handles we got out here. Does Hunter have a chance at the sack record with the O-lines on the remaining schedule? So
Well, you got the Lions again. So,
yeah,
And then
Lions, Bears
the,
twice.
You have the Seahawks.
but the
They've actually
Seahawks
played
they
pretty
played
well.
really well after the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Jermaine Ifedi?
Yeah, they cut the cord on cable
Yeah, it's good. If I hadn't seen it on Twitter
a million times.
But I mean, it's good. You got the Packers, you got the Patriots. It does help that you've got the Dolphins. It does help that you've got the Lions. I don't know, the Bears.
I hope it's still Brock Simber.
Yeah.
It's got to be, right?
It'll be tough. I think that the sack environment, or whatever you want to call it, for Hunter was a little bit more favorable than it will be going forward.
And bonus one, good one to go out on. Who on the current roster and staff would be the most entertaining shit show of a politician, public figure, Jesse Ventura style?
Everson Griffin, right?
No.
Wait, can you say the question again?
Who on the current staff or roster or staff would be the most entertaining shit show of a politician, public figure like Jesse Ventura?
I mean, Everson makes sense, but it just feels like a shitty answer.
Yeah, it's like a jab, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
No, I obviously meant that pre everything.
No, you
else
didn't.
I legitimately did.
Yankee, you got to have situational awareness.
Oh my God, you guys.
I don't know. B-Rob would have been great.
Yeah.
Jared would have been great.
Robert Rodriguez.
Oh, there you go.
Assistant defensive lines coach.
Yeah.
Rob. He's a character. Or trying to think. Probably no one offensively on the coaching staff. But would Kirk be a bad politician in the fact that he's such a politician already?
I mean, I think he could get far enough, but I don't think he could run for president. But yeah, I could totally see him being not just a state senator, but like a governor.
No, he could go back home and run for senator because, I mean, Michigan is a state where, hey, Kid Rock could run for Senate. They're like shruggy.
I don't think they shrugged. I think they were pretty opposed to the idea.
But recreational weed's legal in Michigan now. So let's try that again. Next cycle, 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see him running in Michigan, though.
I like it. All right, so we need to finish up with Chris Spielman, where he's a great football mind.
Oh, that was rough on Sunday.
But yeah, it's tough.
Been rough for the last 6 weeks or
they've
whatever.
They've had him like 4 or 5 times.
I've never not minded him the way I did on Sunday. Like my wife,
Really, because he's been bad.
I know he's been bad, but like I felt like this. My wife made comments. My wife was like, "Mute this. This is terrible," and she'd never said that before. And it was bad. Like it was something I just remember it being bad. Like I know some of the previous ones were bad, but this one just like stood out to me.
It was. I mean, he's been particularly bad this year. I guess I don't remember last year or years prior him being as
Exactly.
bad. But like this year, it just like again, me and Arif has talked like just awkward inside jokes.
All these talks without me.
I mean,
Oh, damn it! I wish I had more time because you remember Mike Goldberg when he called Vikings games like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
UFC, he's great at UFC, terrible at NFL. Do a supercut between his awkward lines and goof ups and Chris Spielman together. Make it sound like they're in the booth together. Oh my God, that'd be great.
Well, during the bye week.
Yeah, but it's almost over.
Yeah.
Anyways, rest of the bye week. What are you gentlemen up to? What are you cooking on?
I'm gonna talk. So Zimmer mentioned on Monday that they've improved pretty dramatically in a couple of phases of the game over the past couple of weeks. He noted screen passes, but there's a couple of other areas I want to touch on. So I'm gonna do a write-up talking about screen passes, about some of the other stuff that the Vikings have improved, and kind of what they've changed.
Wait, are you saying screen passes on offense or on defense?
Defending screen passes. Yeah.
You how about yourself?
I just kind of might look at how the defense has evolved over the last 8 weeks. Obviously, in the beginning of the season, it was you just really didn't recognize what this Zimmer defense was, and obviously Zimmer has changed quite a bit. So just look at how Zimmer has simplified the defense, and then how they've become more the unit that we're used to seeing.
I like that they're leading the league in third down percentage yet again by like 6 points, 6 percentage points. It's crazy.
It's nuts.
Yeah. Miles, how about you?
I just wrote an article about Jaron Kearse on Sunday, but right now this week I'm too busy with work to really be focused on anything else.
You need to do the follow-up. You need to do the Chad Beebe one.
Yeah. I need more snaps. I need to see more snaps of it.
Are you larger than Chad Beebe?
Yes.
And
maybe it might be close. What is he, like 5'10", 5'11"?
It's like 5'8".
Oh, then yeah. He's like Yinka size.
Yeah, we're the same height. There you go.
Plus, it's so weird. He wasn't that productive in college.
He wasn't.
But what can you do?
He fits that mold, Andy.
What's the mold? I just want to
The
hear
Adam Thielen type. Duh.
Oh, yeah.
Short and shifty. He's the Jamison Crowder, Kirk Cousins' new Jamison Crowder. What can you do? Listen to Hour 1. We talk some football and stuff, and shows available on iTunes, Stitcher, iRadio, Spotify, Google Play, zonecoverage.com/machine. But for Luke in absentia, and Reef, and Yanka, and Miles, and Eric Van de Glass, I'm Andy Singh, and Young signing out. And bye-bye. Enjoy the bye week.